Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Jack Hempster.
And me, Liam Underwood. And in this episode, we're talking about Goosebumps, the TV series, the first 6 episodes of Season 1 specifically. But that comes later. As regular listeners will know, that's part of our Culture Swap segment. And first, we have nobody's favourite segment, Catching Up.
I like this segment.
Catching Up with Jack and Liam. So, Jack, it's been a while. We're recording a bit later than we normally would.
Yes, we are.
Catch me up.
Well, Liam, I've done so much stuff in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah?
One of which was coming to see you.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, we had our traditional Nerd on Nerd official meetup.
Yeah, where we just, discuss plans for the podcast, how it's going.
Yeah, it's coffees.
Yeah, business meetings.
Yeah.
Number
ties.
crunching.
Yeah, number crunching's good.
Yeah.
Rat race.
Yes. You're trying to bring that London down to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was good.
Bit of alcohol.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of alcohol.
Just a little bit. Some Mexican food.
Oh, God, I forgot about the Mexican place.
It was good, wasn't it?
Well...
What?
It was weird.
What was weird about it?
So, listeners, Liam and Kat both took me to a Mexican restaurant / pub.
Yeah.
So one half of the building is very much a pub. They've got, some Mexican hats on the wall, just so you know it's also the Mexican restaurant. Yeah. And one half is restaurant sort of seating.
Yeah.
And they do live music.
Only on a Friday night.
Not Mexican music.
Nah.
Just live music.
Yeah.
To which the people who frequent the pub appear to dance to.
Just to be clear, that's not me and Kat who were dancing.
Well, only because I was there.
Yeah. No, you were there just sort of stopping us from having fun.
Definitely.
Yeah. But no, there
Otherwise
was
you'd have been straight up on the dance floor.
There was that little waitress there that you had your eye on, and we were like, oh, Jack, you should definitely ask her out. Yeah,
so, sorry, just double checking that story. When you say the waitress that I had my eye on, do you mean the waitress that you had your eye on for setting me up with?
Not just me, Kat as well.
Well...
Kat was like, oh yeah.
Kat seemed less enthusiastic than you.
She always does, though, doesn't she?
I'm not joining in.
Yeah, no, so that waitress, we had fun, didn't we?
Oh, tons of fun. I didn't say anything to her.
Yeah, which is kind of like your move with women.
Par for the course.
Yeah, exactly. That's like your technique, if you will, when it comes to talking to women.
Yeah, I play the sort of like the quiet type. Like,
yeah.
I imagine they leave and they're like, oh, I just don't know anything about him.
He's so mysterious.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, you like...
And then the real trick to that, Liam,
yeah,
because what a lot of people will tell you, and they're wrong, is they'll say at the end of that, you sort of say something, you say something a little bit mysterious, or even more, you just walk out.
Yeah, because
just go.
You think this waitress has come over, she's seen me and Kat who are regulars, she's used, we've chatted to her before, it's fine. Then suddenly there's this new person on the scene. He's mysterious. He doesn't really talk, doesn't make a lot of eye contact either, and just doesn't want to dance. And I can only imagine that in her head, she's thinking, who is this clean-shaven, long-haired wonder boy?
Exactly.
And I think if you had have spoken, that would have really ruined it.
Thanks, Liam.
It's all right.
Anyway, other than this weird restaurant pub,
yeah,
that you took me to,
yeah,
what else did we do, Liam?
We played some crazy golf.
Oh yeah, we did. We played some crazy golf. That was good.
That's where we found out that that's where we found out that your life just revolves around crazy golf, and me and Kat didn't stand a chance because we're normal people who don't obsess over it.
Well, clarify that. You're not normal people.
When it comes to crazy golf.
There we go.
Yeah. Like, we learnt that you basically every single day play crazy golf, and
that's not true.
You know the courses that you haven't even been to.
I will admit that I did recognise the courses, but that's only because it's the exact same crazy golf course that's up my end of the woods.
No, you just go too much. That's what we learnt from that.
I've been there like twice, and I was like, this is definitely this. It has the little pull along bridge through the water.
And then you won, but we also learnt a lot of facts about jungle critters.
Can you remember any of the facts, Liam?
Yeah. Moving on.
Good.
No, there was one about silverback gorilla being like big biggest gorilla or something?
No. You're now quoting the fact that I got wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's that mountain gorillas are the biggest gorilla or some shit.
Yeah, and there's something else about, I think, like, Lake Victoria or Victoria Falls, one of those things.
Lake Victoria, but I don't remember what the fact was.
We don't remember the facts.
Big lake.
Yeah.
We learnt a lot.
And we also played some board games.
Yes, we did.
Do you remember what those were?
We played the Walking Dead board game.
Yeah, which is a present I got for Kat for like her birthday or Christmas.
Yep, we all worked really well together.
We lost.
I didn't read the rules properly.
Yep.
So, if anything, we lasted longer than we should have, because we were
Yes.
definitely cheating for some of it.
Yes, definitely.
Then we played... Did we play Small World after that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Played Small World, that was good.
I enjoyed Small World.
Yeah, I think it's quite a fun game.
Yeah.
It took a little bit... It's like one of those things where there's a lot... Or it seems like a lot of rules, but when you actually play it and are doing it, it all sort of makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, that was really good.
And then I think we ended it with Odin's Raven, didn't we?
Did we only play 3 games? Did we not play another one?
What would the other one have been?
I don't know, Liam.
It's possible.
Yeah, maybe it was just Odin's Raven. Yeah, but then we played Odin's Raven, which was shit, and I don't like it.
I mean, you did some tweets from when we were playing. There was a tweet about us ganging up. Oh, we played Funemployed.
Yes, we did. That was the one.
Yeah, yeah.
What did I tweet?
You tweeted about us ganging up on you in Small World.
In which one? In Small World?
Yeah. You said,
Did I?
this stupid game turned into let's be a couple and fuck over our friend.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, because I think we were winning and you didn't like that.
No, you weren't winning, though, were you, Liam?
Well, I wasn't. Kat was.
Yeah, I was playing the long con and also not counting my points.
Yeah. And then don't forget we watched some movies.
We watched some incredible movies.
We watched Arrival.
That was genuinely good. I loved that.
Yeah. Do you remember what else we watched?
Happiness of the Katakuris.
Yeah. Would you like to sing a bit of that for us?
No.
Okay.
No. Listeners, if you haven't seen Happiness of the Katakuris, please watch it.
It's good, isn't it?
I don't know.
Sorry. Let's try that again. It's good, isn't it?
I don't know.
But the thing is, you've just recommended our listeners, like, watch it.
Oh, definitely.
Sell it to them, Jack.
I mean, no, go watch it.
Right, okay.
So, right, sell it to... Okay, listeners, you should go watch this film.
If you're a fan of musicals...
Well, yes,
Yeah.
If you're a fan of musicals, Japanese horror / drama
I don't... Like, it...
/ comedy...
I don't know if it is a horror.
No, the thing with it is, it definitely had an air at the beginning that
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is this going to get spooky?
Yep.
It doesn't.
No.
But there's murder in it and stuff, so it's a little bit sort of thrillery.
Yeah. I mean, there are even zombies in it. It's just not a horror, I don't think.
No, it's not, no. It's just it's a brain fart that doesn't make sense, but it's great.
Yeah, it's the best Japanese musical I've seen.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, do you remember the other one we watched?
No.
Leprechaun 4 in Space.
I had actually forgotten that. Yes, we did watch Leprechaun 4 in space.
Yeah. You loved it. You love fucking space and aliens and all that shit.
I do.
So, right up your street.
I mean, it's a Leprechaun film, is the main thing. And it's a Leprechaun film.
What does that mean?
Just, I can't tell, because is Leprechaun... I know this one definitely, there isn't an air of they sort of get the joke of what they are, right?
Yeah.
Because, but did Leprechaun 1 have that as well? Or was Leprechaun 1 a genuine attempt at sort of being a slashery, thrillery monster?
I think they've all had an element of being aware that, the big bad is essentially Warwick Davis dressed as a leprechaun.
True.
So, yeah. But I think the key takeaway was we had a lot of fun while also doing a lot of business.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do best at Nerd on Nerd. Business and pleasure.
In equal measure.
That's our motto.
Well, what else you been up to?
I've had a lot of work, Liam. Like, actually a lot of work.
Yeah.
At my job.
Well, because it was big...
The general election.
Yeah, big, important time in British history.
Well, yeah, sure.
Politics.
So I did a lot... Yeah, politics. Lots of politics. So I
Yeah.
did a lot of stuff for that. So I've not had a lot of free time.
Old Theresa May.
She is still a thing.
And Jeremy Corbyn.
Is also a thing.
UKIP.
Not so much a thing.
And Green Party.
Sort of the same sort of thing that they have been for
And
quite a
now,
while.
who's this new contender on the scene? The DUP.
Sort of weird, them.
There we go, politics with Jack
Done.
Kempster.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
But, Liam, other than this big amount of work, what I did was today, well, sort of yesterday, I went to visit my buddy Tom Hogan.
Oh, yeah, friend of the show.
Yep, friend of the show. He has a HTC Vive, the the VR headset for Steam.
Yeah.
So we were playing that. It's really fun. Still love VR. Dan's also got one. Also friend of the show, Dan Palmer.
Yeah.
He has the PS VR.
Yes.
So they've both got the Star Trek game where you.
That game looks so good.
It does. So I then yesterday maybe also bought a PSVR and have set it all up today.
I'm very tempted to get one myself, to be honest.
It's honestly, I know that I'm sort of, this is going to come across as biased because I love VR anyway, and all this future bullshit. But there was this moment yesterday where I played for about 15-20 minutes. Played like a little mission in the Star Trek one and was pressing buttons.
Yeah.
And doing all the. I was like, oh, it's so cool. It feels real. And then you can do a thing in the game where you can point if you press certain buttons. So, of course, because it's me, Tom, and Dan, and we could see what we were doing on the computer screen.
Yeah.
So we were all, being silly, pointing fingers, being all like, ho, it's VR. And then there was this moment when we were leaving where I pointed at Tom.
Yeah.
And my brain genuinely, for a second, just completely dissociated from my arm. And I had this weird, oh God, this is terrifying.
Right, okay.
It was good though, Liam. It was a good thing. So I was like, clearly the VR is
immersive.
So immersive that you're then like, oh,
yeah.
I can see. It's genuinely, it's worth getting. I think.
I'm so tempted. I really am. But the thing is, there hasn't yet been that killer game that I'm like, I really want to get it for this one game.
The Star Trek one is really good.
Yeah, there's a couple of games that I would love to play. Like the Batman one, I'd love to play.
See, Palmer's told me that's not very good.
Yeah, I just want to try it. The Until Dawn one, I really want to play.
Yep.
That the one about the bomb.
Oh, keep talking and no one explodes.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun.
Yep.
And then the Star Trek one, I also want to play.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're going to be getting more VR stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Soon. But you're right. They're definitely. I can't point to a game and be like, that's the big
reason.
VR title.
Yeah. Like with the Nintendo Switch, you know, people go, I got it for Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. With VR, I don't have that reason yet.
No, that's fair.
But I am tempted.
If you got it though, Liam, we would have the exact right amount to be a full crew on the Starship Enterprise.
Well, that could be fun.
You could be our captain, Liam.
I don't know if I would like to do that. Can I not be Sulu?
Yeah, they have a helm position.
Awesome. I would vote Tom as captain, I think.
Yeah, I feel like Tom would be a good captain.
I mean, he's like, I think probably best positioned as captain. I feel like in his day-to-day life, he probably has the most responsibility out of the four of us.
Yeah, that's true. He also owns a captain's hat, so...
Well, just makes sense then.
Exactly.
Cool. Maybe I'll
But yeah, that's been my sort of 3 weeks summed up. What have you been up to?
So obviously I had you visit.
Yeah, what did we do?
Just lots of stuff, Jack. Lots of business stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot. It was fun. You know, we got to go and see a bit of Chichester, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. You
So-
took me shopping.
Did we?
Yep, you needed to
yeah.
buy... I can't remember what it was, but it was real thrilling. Exactly the kind of thing that you get your friend to do when he comes down for a weekend.
I mean, okay.
Oh, a fan. You needed a fan. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. And let's just bear in mind as well, right, that last time you came to visit, you got here and then both me and Kat immediately went to nap.
Yeah, I mean, the trend is not great at the
So,
moment.
we did better this time.
This was definitely an improvement on the we're both going to go nap, and I just sort of sat in your living room watching YouTube.
Yeah. Also, I got a new TV.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is a nice TV as well.
Yeah, so you got to have a little looky-loo at that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I showed you some Planet Earth and you got a bit freaked out.
I don't know if I got freaked out.
You were saying it was too real and you could count all of the hairs on the sloth and you didn't
You could
like
count
it.
all the hairs on the sloth.
Yeah, it definitely freaked you out a little bit. I also guested on Amanda's podcast without you.
I know you did.
On Amanda's Picture Show A Go-Go.
I'm not jealous or anything.
No, you shouldn't be.
I'm not.
No, because we just talked about you know, how good I am in comparison to you.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
And when I say we, I mean me.
Yes, that's what I assumed.
Yep. No, actually, we talked a lot about Zac Efron and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson because we were discussing Baywatch.
Yeah, I mean, Amanda knows that you're obsessed with the Zephron.
It's entirely the reason why I was invited on to her podcast to discuss Baywatch.
Did you sort of was it basically just you gushing over Zac Efron for an hour and a half?
I mean, there were definitely times when I got a bit distracted thinking about Zac Efron and then like had an erection to deal with, and it was like, oh, this is awkward.
Wonderful.
I mean, luckily it wasn't like a video chat or anything, but there were definitely times when I was like, I need the blood back up in the brain because I need to like think about points to make, but instead it was all just rushing down to my nether regions because he's just got so many abs, Jack.
How many abs does he have, Liam?
Honestly, I could count them all day.
Yeah, go on then. How many?
At least 6.
Okay, very good.
But like, not only that, you've also got The Rock.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just dreamy as well. I mean, not. Look, if I had to choose, I would be the filling of a Zephron and The Rock sandwich.
That's not choosing.
It is. That's my choice.
You can't go. If I had to pick between the two, I'd be in the middle.
I've got a mouth hole and a bum hole. It would work fine.
Too revolting, Liam.
The thing is, I was relatively well behaved on Amanda's show. I kept a lot of that restrained, so now I have to let it out here.
Oh, good, fantastic! I'm glad you saved it for me, buddy.
That's right. But no, it was fun. I like Amanda a lot, and I like talking with her about films and stuff. Like, the thing is, here's what I like about it, Jack. I'll say to Amanda, oh, have you seen this film? Or, oh, you know that actor? And her response is yes. Whereas,
go fuck yourself.
You know, on this show with you, we have like a 5-minute discussion where I'm just trying to explain to you who the hell Daniel Day-Lewis is.
I was going to try and come back with a witty comeback, but I realised I don't know Daniel Day-Lewis is.
Ah, good.
Who is he?
Honestly, listen to the last episode, Jack, because we went over this. Yeah. I've just spent ages over the last couple of weeks putting together, catching up with a YouTube video where there's a lot of images of Daniel Day-Lewis in it in different film roles as I'm trying to help you figure out who he is.
Did I ever realise?
Not really.
There you go then.
So, but yeah, there was that, and then kind of inspired by Baywatch and seeing these like physical pinnacles of man on screen.
Yeah,
I've started trying to become a morning person, Jack, over the last week.
Okay, I saw the tweet today, or maybe yesterday.
Yeah.
That this is about your 5th day or whatever.
Yeah, so that was Friday.
So, are you actually going to the gym in the morning?
Yeah, three times a week.
Okay, well that's So it's not just the morning thing, because that's I assumed it was for sort of getting healthy.
Yeah. So what I've been doing, just for those, just to fill everyone in.
Yeah.
Like, I work from home, so I don't really have to get up for work until like say work starts at 9 o'clock. I get up at like 5 to 9, and I can be logged in on time. The issue with that is then I'm staying up till like 2 a.m. in the morning, right? And I'm getting like a good 7 hours sleep, and I feel like I'm being like Liam productive in that time. And what I mean by that is I'm doing things that I find productive for me, but like normal people wouldn't necessarily say that's a productive use of time.
Yeah, like watching films and stuff.
Yeah, which to me is productive because I'm getting my film list down.
Yeah.
But to others, they don't see it in that way.
No, that's true.
So it has been quite a big change where I've been getting up at 7 a.m. now, or trying to at least, and then sort of trying to get to the gym for like between 7:30 and 8. Do like an hour if possible. Get back, have a quick shower, ready for work.
Have you felt a change? Does it feel different? Do you feel more active and healthy?
Here's like the problem I'm facing at the moment.
Okay.
So I've only done it for a week so far, and it's the weekend at the moment, so I've kind of took a break. It's really ruining my evenings.
Why?
Because it gets to like 5 o'clock, I finish work, and I'm struggling to stay awake. And I've basically been putting on movies this week that are like, I've either seen them before, or like they're not difficult watches. Like The Lorax was one, which is a animated movie.
I know what The Lorax is.
Has the voice talents of Zephron and Taylor Swift.
Very good.
So movies like that, and I'm still like struggling to remain awake, and then I'll perk back up at about 7 o'clock-ish when like Kat comes in and we have dinner and stuff. But then I'll be ready for bed by like 10:30. And it's just, you know, I'm used to kind of like, Kat will go to bed at say 10:30, 11, and that's when Liam comes into his element. You know, Liam can do whatever the fuck he wants. He'll be playing PlayStation, he'll be watching films, having just fun.
Yeah, right. I think we all know what you mean by fun.
And that now is gone.
All right, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are you a big baby?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
I just wanted to clarify that.
Why?
Well, you're getting up at the same time as I do now.
7 o'clock.
7, yep. Oh, I get up at 7:30, sorry. So you're getting up half an hour earlier than me.
Yep. Or trying to. Some days I fail.
Yeah, that's understandable. So you're getting up, usually, on average, half an hour earlier than me.
Yeah.
You're having a normal work day.
Yeah.
You're finishing at 5.
Yeah.
And then you get tired.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the only thing you've changed is you're getting up slightly earlier and you're going... But you even said you're going to bed earlier. So all that should have happened, Liam, is that 5 o'clock when you're getting up... No, sorry, not 5 o'clock when you're getting up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant the 5 o'clock when you're finishing work.
Yeah.
That would be around the same time as... So you're getting up at 7, 8, 9. So it would be the equivalent of 7 p.m. on a normal day.
Yeah. I know. I
don't
understand.
All you're doing is shifting your clock.
Yeah, I don't understand why I'm struggling so much with it.
No.
I was kind of hoping it would just be like a couple of days adjusting, but like on Friday, I knew I wanted to watch a movie that night, and I knew the only way to do it would be to have a little nap. So I had to have like a half-hour nap on Friday, so I could then watch a movie that night.
It's ridiculous.
It is really bad. I'm not enjoying it, to be honest.
Go to a sleep psychiatrist. That's the thing, like a sleep doctor, one of the people that like analyzes your sleep. Because I mean, I know mine isn't normal, but at least I can do stuff.
Yeah, I honestly, who knows, Jack? It might just be something that just takes a bit more time to get used to.
I mean, yeah, it has only been a week, so
Exactly.
I guess see how it goes.
Tomorrow's going to be a big test. So obviously, I've had the weekend off. So tomorrow I'll be back to getting up at 7, hitting the gym, and then tomorrow night I have a Cinema Unlimited screening.
Oh.
So that's at 8 o'clock. I'm probably not going to be finishing that till like 10 o'clock at the earliest. So that's going to be a bit of a struggle, I think.
Oh, it could be a bit too much, Liam.
Could. And the other issue is then, like, on days... Because I'm doing the gym 3 times a week. So on the 2 days that I'm not doing the gym, I'm still getting up at 7, so I'm trying to get into the habit of it. But then, like... so on Thursday, I just played Tekken, because I was too tired to do anything else productive. And I was like, well, if I play, like, PlayStation, it's going to keep me more awake, because I'm a bit more engaged.
You should, like, go for a jog or something.
Yeah, but it was a recovery day.
Yeah, but I'm pretty positive you're meant to... Don't you recover from the thing you were doing and then you do different muscles on the other day?
Yeah, but I did legs on Wednesday.
Yeah, oh, okay. So you should have done some press-ups.
Nah. So yeah, it was just... I'm struggling, but I'm going to... At the end of the day, the way I figured, I'm going to give it another week. If it's still ruining my evenings, I'm knocking it on the head. I'm done with it.
Yeah, do that.
Because I like my evenings.
Yeah, the evenings are like the best time.
And the other thing is, like, the whole reason for doing this was because I watched Baywatch, and in another week's time, I'm going to forget.
No, you aren't. We all know you fall asleep now with images of Zephron in his little swim shorts.
Yeah, but like, honestly, so I watched Baywatch twice since we've last spoken. And the first time I watched it, I had this, like, inspiration, and it went silly. It was like, well, if The Rock can get up at 4 a.m. to hit the gym, I'm going to do 6 a.m.
Why? Yeah, oh God, you're so over the top when you get these ideas.
Honestly, both me and Kat, we woke up at 6 a.m. And this is at the time that, like, if Kat's going to do the gym, that's the time she normally wakes up.
Yeah.
And on this day, we both woke up, we both looked at each other, and we both went, fuck that, and we went back to sleep.
Of course.
So then after watching Baywatch, like, the next night, I was like, okay, 6 a.m. was too much. 7. Let's try 7. And I've been eating healthier as well, because I really, like, fell off the eating healthy bandwagon. Just
to clarify, when you say eating healthier, do you still eat the 3-day Liam chili?
Yeah, but I've just got all of the ingredients to, like, make it from scratch, which is apparently, like, the healthy way of doing it.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Yeah, so this week there'll be no complaints.
From who?
You.
Oh no, I still don't think it's particularly healthy to every week eat 3 days of chili.
Yeah, but it's Liam's 3-day chili.
Yeah, but you're not getting a variety. Whatever, we don't need to go into the details.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Well, I guess I don't want to say proud of you, because I'm not.
Why not?
Well, because you're sort of failing. It sounds like you're doing it, but you're too sleepy in the evenings. So yeah. I don't know if proud is the right word.
What's the right word?
I don't know. Maybe I'm hopeful that it works out for you.
See, I'm thinking maybe tomorrow, if I'm sleepy at 5, I do another half-hour nap to get through the cinema.
You shouldn't have to nap that much, though.
You've met me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You shouldn't have to. I
like a nap.
I know.
I love it. The other thing is, like, it has really confused my body. Like, I woke up one night, and you know when you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm not going to move or look at the time because I don't want to know, like, how soon my alarm's going to go off?
Yeah.
You know when you think you've woken up, like, a little bit before the alarm?
Yep.
That happened to me. And I was laying there in bed for like 5 minutes. I was like, wait a second, it's still quite dark. And I checked my phone, it was like 2:30 a.m.
I love the idea. It would have been great if you just lay there for hours.
And I was just like, wait, this is the sort of time I'd normally be coming to bed. And I've just woken up. Oh, it's just really messy. I don't like mornings, and I don't like morning people.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them.
Just accept that then.
Doing my nutting, trying to be one of you.
Go to one of you. I'm not one of them.
I get up in the morning. You, not a specific Jack. You.
Yeah. I came and visited you and fell asleep until 5 in the afternoon once.
Yep, we're aware. Yeah, you whinge about me and Kat having naps when you get here, but we had like a discussion of, well, who's going to go and see if he's alive because I don't want to deal with it if he isn't.
Do you remember the reason that I slept till 5 in the afternoon though?
Oh, I'm sure there was one, Jack.
There was. In my desperation to get down and visit you on a Friday, I stayed up all Thursday night doing work so that I could come down on Friday.
Yeah. The thing is, we never got any filming done this time, and I know that our listeners like it when we make our little films.
Well, now I've got my car and I can drive. I can visit you more often.
Yeah, because we've still got to do a sequel to Concerning Sarah.
Yep.
And we've got to do the erotic fanfiction brought to life.
Oh, yeah. God, yeah, we do.
And we also need to film like a little promo thing for our YouTubes.
All right, there's a lot we got to do. I understand.
So, yeah, I'll be seeing you again soon, I guess.
Yay.
Cinema times?
Yeah, cinema times.
I went to cinema and watched films, basically, like what you would do at the cinema.
Yeah, what films did you see, Lee? Well, we know you saw Baywatch. How was that?
Well, I've done 3. Do you want me to do it in, like... If I do it in my least favourite to my favourite, we'll kind of like build up to a big finale, yeah?
Alright, that sounds good.
Alright, so my least favourite, the first film, The Mummy.
Okay.
Just came out in the UK, as you know, has Tom Cruise in it.
Yeah.
You know who he is, I'm sure.
Famous Scientologist.
Yes, couch jumper.
Yep.
I forgot to get the info up that I need about this. Hang on. So, The Mummy, as I'm sure you're aware, is the start of, like, Universal are trying to do this dark universe. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, after Marvel have done their universe thing, everyone else wants to get a piece of this pie. I think even Fast and Furious are going to start doing it.
Wait, what are they doing? What?
Yeah, there's talks that, well, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be a universe, but there's at least going to be a spin-off. Yeah, with The Rock and Jason Statham.
What's the point?
Because they were, like, the highlight of the last film.
Whatever, fine.
So Universal are trying to do this dark universe. So in the 1930s, I've got to take you back a bit here, Jack.
Take me back to your youth.
Yes, in the 1930s, Universal did a load of monster movies. Frankenstein, Dracula, The Mummy, Wolfman, The Invisible Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yep.
And it kind of was its own little universe of sorts. Like, you had... Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
Okay.
So there were like crossovers back then. So they're kind of trying to do that now, and this is their first attempt. So you have Tom Cruise playing basically Tom Cruise, and then you got Russell Crowe who's playing Dr. Henry Jekyll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then like other characters like that. Those are the kind of the 2 main ones. You've got like a woman, Sophia Boutella, playing Amunet, who's the mummy.
Yeah.
And Annabelle Wallis is playing like the love interest, Jenny. And you've also got Jake Johnson, who's not in it enough, but I just like seeing him in stuff.
Fair enough.
He's in New Girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
That's where you'll
I
know
know
him
it is,
from. Yeah. So the thing with The Mummy, it being a Tom Cruise film, there's obviously got to be a ridiculous stunt.
Yeah, of course, which he probably did.
Yeah, definitely. Over the course of 2 days, they did like 60 trips in a vomit comet plane thing where it does 0G.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a scene, and I don't think it's spoilers because it's in like the trailer and stuff. There's a scene where there's a plane crashing,
yes.
And Tom Cruise is in it and floating around. I like my silly stunts, so I was a big fan of that. I've got to say, I didn't really like the original Mummy from 1932. Yeah, so... And I haven't seen the 1999 Brendan Fraser one either.
Oh, that's the one I've seen, and that's good.
Like I've brought it to watch now because I feel like I should see it, but we'll see. This one, it's all right, but it's only all right. Like if you're gonna start a universe, you want the first one to be amazing.
Yeah, you need a strong start.
Yeah, like the first Iron Man film was a strong start.
Yeah, definitely.
The Mummy isn't a very strong start. There's like a few patches where it all gets a bit too dull. A lot of it is quite dark, and I don't mean that thematically. I mean that in like there wasn't enough lighting.
Oh, okay, literally dark.
Yep. Also, for a horror movie, not scary.
Well, is it meant to be a horror movie?
I mean, it's the Mummy, and they're trying to do a thing called the Dark Universe.
Yeah, but the 1990s one, not particularly scary.
So, the thing is, and this is the issue. If they're trying to tie in all these things, like Invisible Man and all that sort of stuff, they're rooted in horror, right?
Yeah.
So, surely you'd want to start this universe off on the right foot. And if all of the others... You've got kind of two options. All of the others are either going to take this approach of 2017's The Mummy and kind of lose the horror, in which case, why are you doing that? Or you've got, like, The Mummy is this really odd one out because it doesn't have enough horror to it, and the others will have to have more.
But then, are those monster films... Like, they used to be scary, I imagine.
Yeah.
Like, for the time. But the idea of those sort of monsters... I think things like Frankenstein and The Mummy and, like, maybe not so much The Invisible Man, but they've been so sort of used in pop culture that I feel like they've lost all their fear.
That's why you kind of come back with a really good horror take on it to bring that fear back, I think.
I just don't know if the idea of a mummy is scary.
No, it isn't. And that's one of the biggest... And I think so in America, it got a PG-13.
What did it get here?
I believe it got a 15.
Really?
I'll double check.
No, I just meant it in like that's quite a big jump, or it feels like a big jump for the two.
I read somewhere that it got that, but it might not. Yeah, UK got 15.
Fair enough.
So, and the reason for that would be there's a couple of like scenes where there's things that look a bit gross, essentially.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not scary, but,
Yeah, like, I mean, there's a scene in the trailer with the swimmy zombie sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And they look a bit gross.
Yeah. I just... If you're going to do this, like, dark universe, you need to have the balls to not try and, like, make it fit into a PG-13 package.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, yeah, it sounds like the kind of thing that would be cool if they were like, we're making this universe, also it's definitely like an adult universe where... Yeah.
There was one really cool scene I can't kind of give away because part of the coolness was the surprise of it.
Okay.
But, like, it just wasn't kind of... It was a totally average movie, and that's, like, the best thing I can say about it.
No, fair, that's not great.
No, so it's, like, 2.5 out of 5, and I think... Like, I quite like Tom Cruise, and I feel like how much you like Tom Cruise will depend on, like, how much you like the film.
Yeah,
I imagine, like, if you're not a big fan of him or whatever, this is basically just another Tom Cruise vehicle, essentially.
Fair enough. Can I ask one question before we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
So they're doing this dark universe, right?
Yeah.
What's the end goal of that? Because, like, things like Marvel and DC, not the end goal, but a clear goal they had was both universes establishing their superhero teams.
Yeah.
What is Dark do we have any idea what Dark Universe are sort of aiming to do?
Not really. What this film seems to basically set up is this idea that there's good and evil in the world, and sometimes it takes a monster to fight a monster, essentially.
Oh, so maybe setting up things where they have to be like Frankenstein verse.
That's what I would kind of guess they would do.
Spookums Man.
Yeah. That's like where I'm guessing they're going to go with it. But
okay.
Honestly, like...
I'm not hugely sold.
Yeah, this isn't an encouraging start. And the fact that they've already released an image of, like... you've got, like, Johnny Depp, who's going to be playing the Invisible Man. I can't remember. They've kind of already assigned roles to big actors.
Yeah.
So it feels like they have a lot of faith in this working.
Yeah, that does seem quite...
And this film doesn't really give you a lot of faith that it's going to work.
No.
So, I'm a big fan of horror stuff. I would like it if this universe did work. Not convinced.
Nope.
So that was the first one. Next. Okay. We're potentially going to do a podcast on this, so I can't say too much. So next one is Wonder Woman.
Yep.
What can I say? Because I don't want to get into like an argument already.
Just spoil. Right, listeners, we are doing a podcast on Wonder Woman. We're going to release a special soon.
Ish.
It'll hopefully either be up the week that you hear this, or maybe at most the week after.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to affect your opinion going in.
So should we just call it that? You've seen Wonder Woman. We are going to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Next film.
Well, I'll give a rating.
Go on.
3 out of 5.
Okay. What was the third film you saw? Well, Baywatch.
Yeah, the third film I saw was Baywatch. Which, again, I don't know when it's going up, but at some point Amanda will release the episode that I'm on. So I think we spoke for like an hour about Baywatch. I won't do that now.
Yep, good.
Okay, I'm going to start with like the issue I had with it.
Okay.
Me and Kat went to see this at an unlimited screening, and we sat down and we were waiting for it to start, and I turned to Kat and I went, I wonder if they're going to get like they're obviously getting Hasselhoff back, but I wonder if they're going to get like Pamela Anderson or Yasmin Bleeth, I think her name is, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know the others' names, but yeah, for cameos and stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, I wonder if they'll kind of pop up at all. And then the opening credits, like, lists, who you would expect, Zephron, The Rock, blah, blah, blah. And then it says, and David Hasselhoff and Pamela Anderson. I'm like, well, you've just taken away that, like, suspense for me.
Yeah, the surprise of the cameo where you're like, oh, Matt, I didn't know you were in it.
Yeah, really weird for that to come up in, like, the opening fucking credits.
Yeah.
Bit disappointing. Beside that, though...
Seems, yeah.
Baywatch is the sort of film that, like, film critics and that are going to get a bit sniffy about. Much like Dirty Grandpa last year, where it's a comedy, it's pretty harmless, it's fun, majority of the jokes work. I think the issue is, it's when the film like actually tries to have a plot is when it really slows down.
Okay.
And I kind of wish that they'd done more of a, like, 21 Jump Street approach, where it was a lot more comedy focused.
Yeah.
This... Maybe like the first 2/3 is very much comedy, and then like the last third just completely slows down to just plot stuff. And it's
really?
A bit of a like, yeah. It's enjoyable. I enjoyed it enough to go and see it twice at the cinema.
Yeah, I mean that seems like quite a big endorsement.
I mean, I wouldn't read too much into it. Like the second time was just to refresh my memory for when I was talking about it with Amanda.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't even remember if I talked about this on the podcast last time or not.
I don't think so.
That's all right then.
Did you?
When did we record last time?
A while ago.
May 25th was when I first watched it.
No, yeah, you were going to see it.
Okay, cool. The other thing to be aware of, if you're listening, in case you're like not quite fully cottoned on, I am a bit biased about this sort of film.
Yeah, you have the biggest man crush on Zephron.
And The Rock, to be fair.
Yeah, but I mean your Zephron crush is bigger.
Oh yeah, definitely. But like, they're two people where essentially you put in a movie and I'm there to see the movie regardless of what the movie is.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that I liked it.
No.
What was interesting is the female cast. So you got Alexandra Daddario, Kelly Rohrbach, and then there is also, they're like the two who get the most kind of to do. You've also got Ilfanesh Hadira, I think. Is how you say that?
No idea.
Who is just a bit shortchanged. If they do a sequel, and I really want them to, I want her to have more to do in it. Because she's essentially set up as like The Rock's like right-hand woman, and she's just not really given much to do compared to the other two women. But it's interesting in that, like, I don't know how familiar you are with the TV show Baywatch, because it might be a bit before your time.
I never watched it.
Yeah, I remember it being on TV, like when I was a kid. Like I used to love Gladiators, and that was on before it. Yeah. And then there was like Blind Date or something, with Cilla Black.
Yeah. I know Blind Date.
And then they'd have Baywatch. I don't really remember a lot of it, but I do remember there was a lot of slow motion running with women.
Yes, I think everyone knows that that's the sort of famous Baywatch thing.
Yeah. And what this does interesting is it kind of like objectifies the men as much as the women.
Yeah, which is, if they're going to objectify people, it's probably best that it's
It's even
equal.
Stevens. Yeah, exactly. Like,
still probably not good to objectify people, but
if you're going to, and as like if you're going to objectify any man, Zac Efron, it makes sense. Just look at him.
Sure.
Surprisingly, there's more penis in this film than there is boob, and there's not
I didn't
many
even
films.
expect there to be penis.
There's not many films you can say that about, is there?
No, probably not. Maybe, I don't know.
3.5 out of 5.
Oh, that's lower than I thought you'd give it.
Like I said, it needed to be more comedy than it was.
Yeah.
If I really hope they get a sequel. I think there's definitely potential, and I would just happily see Zephron and The Rock on screen. Even if this doesn't get a sequel, I would like there to be another movie that has Zephron and The Rock together.
Yeah.
Because their like chemistry and the way they play off each other was undoubtedly the highlight. And I don't think that's just like my bias talking. I think anyone who watches it would probably come away with that takeaway.
Okay, well that's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's what I did at the cinema. How about you? Have you done any books, anime?
I've also done 3 things, Liam.
Okay.
I've done I can't remember if I talked about the last few books in the series I read last time. It was book 4 and 5, I want to say, or maybe 3 and 4 of A Man of His Word, which was the one with the magics being that if you knew a special word, you could do magic. You probably didn't really listen last time.
No, I did, and it was all about if you kill someone or whatever, they can give you their word or whatever. So you had to be really careful with who you told about it and that sort of thing. So yeah, fuck you. I listened.
You did. I'm sorry. The last 2 books were good, but it sort of went for a pretty obvious.
Can we just get the titles of those books?
It's Perilous Seas and Emperor and Clown.
Cool. I mean, it's more for when I do the YouTube videos.
Yeah,
and
no,
everything.
fair enough.
Not for our listeners.
They sort of went for like the obvious happy ending a little bit.
Okay, that's a shame.
Which because a lot of it was being built up, and there were quite a few things that you could see they would have had an easy choice to make it a bit more happy and like, oh, they've met up and everything's fine. But instead they take sort of the darker route where you were like, oh man, that's pretty hard for that character.
Yeah.
But then it felt a little bit like copping out at the end. Not particularly. I still enjoyed these books, but it just, it felt a little bit cop-outy.
Okay.
But the actual, like, there's the sort of bullshit happy ending, but then there is also a sort of twist to it, which is quite an awesome thing that I didn't see coming in the books. So there's a good twist in it, but a little bit of a cop-out ending.
Out of 5?
3.5 for the last one, and maybe 3.5 for both.
Okay.
And then I started reading a new series, Liam.
Yeah.
My little site that I go on called Best Fantasy Books and Best Sci-Fi Books.
Yeah. Can I just point out, we had some listener feedback in person.
Did they say, we love Jack's book reviews?
No, Kat turned to me. I made her listen to the last episode because she wanted to know why it was titled that. And so I made her listen to figure out why it was titled that. And she stopped listening at one point, turned to me and goes, Jack's books sound fucking boring, don't they? And I just went, yeah. She went, yeah, you sound bored listening to him. And I went, yeah. And then she carried on listening.
Does she say that about me when I'm listening to your films, Liam?
Yeah.
Does she, though?
Well, no,
because I think I tend to do quite a good job of pretending I give a shit about some of the films you talk about. When really, Liam, I honestly do not.
Here's the difference, Jack. I talk about a wide array of films. There's a variety.
If you'd let me power through this bit that I wanted to do quickly, I can talk about the other shit I've done that I actually want to talk about.
I'm just giving you our listener feedback.
I don't want to do books anymore because you make such a big bullshit deal out of it.
No. I'm happy for you to do books, Jack.
No, you aren't.
Yeah,
and
I
you know
am.
you're not.
No, so honestly, because as we just proved earlier, I listen when you do the book reviews.
Yeah, but you don't care, Liam. You don't care anymore.
I
remember when this relationship was all about caring.
When was that?
I don't know.
Anyway, come on. Let's
I read a book called A Crown for Cold Silver.
This is the issue I have, though, with your book reviews.
Go on.
It's like, just read something different, please, for me. Like, I get that you.
What do you mean read something different?
Read a Stephen King book. I know you like him.
I've read all. There's not many left for me to read.
I know, but just listening to you drone on and on about all these different fantasy books, just every now and again, just for Liam, just for his like sanity, can we just chuck in a different genre?
I do sci-fi as well.
Yeah, exactly. Can we do like a genre that isn't going to bore Liam silly?
No, because I find those genres boring.
No, you like Stephen King, and he's not all fantasy and sci-fi.
He's horror. I tried to find some horror books the other day, but there's not a lot of recent horror books, apparently.
That's... I don't know about that.
Go on.
Can I recommend a book to you?
Yeah, please.
Have you read any James Herbert?
Don't think so.
Can I recommend you read Fluke?
Okay.
It's not horror. He's a horror writer.
Oh, what is it then?
He's a horror writer.
If it's a fantasy book, Liam, I'm going to punch you.
No, it isn't. Is
it sci-fi?
No. If
it's a coming-of-age book, I'm not reading it.
It's not. He traditionally does books like Rats and I can't remember what his other books are called. But he's known for doing horror. And then he's done this one book called Fluke that is just beautiful. And I actually think you would like it. So
fine.
There we go. Anyway, the Crown of Winter, or whatever it was called.
Yeah, fuck you, whatever.
What was it called?
A Crown of Cold Silver, or A Crown for Cold Silver.
I was close.
It's by Alex Marshall. It's really good. If you like the bullshit I like, go read it.
What's it about?
Fantasy shit.
Is there dragons?
No.
Is it politics?
No, I want to talk about this book, and you've ruined it. And
that's why I'm asking questions, because I want to know what sort of fantasy it is for our listeners.
There's a thing called Grimdark, which I've talked about before, which is brutal, hardcore fantasy.
Yeah.
Like people getting their fingers cut off and stuff. Yeah. This is called gritty fantasy. There's apparently a difference.
What is that difference?
I'll be honest with you, after reading this, I think the difference is it's less dark.
So it's like you've got fantasy.
Yeah.
Then you've got like a slightly darker fantasy, which is this
one. No, this is still darker than regular fantasy.
That's what I'm saying. So you've got normal fantasy, then a slightly darker one, which is this.
Yep.
Then grimdark.
Yeah, I feel like this genre is allowed to maybe have better things happen to people. Like grimdark is very much you're following someone who's definitely not a good guy as they do horrible things to people, and then whatever their character arc is, it probably doesn't end with them getting what they want.
Right, okay.
Whereas this, I sort of feel like maybe they might get what they want, possibly.
What's this genre called?
I think it was called gritty fantasy, or grit, or fantasy grit, or something.
Can we call it grit dark?
Well, it's not really dark, but yeah, sure, fuck it. Yeah, you can call it whatever you want.
Shit. Anyway, carry on.
Okay, no, Liam, okay. Right, hear me out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the stuff I usually do
with
the books, because that bores you. So I'm just going to tell you the premise of this, which I really like.
Okay.
Because instead of the usual, like, hero's journey stuff...
Which you know I hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason
this is not
figured that one out.
At all. Right, this follows 6 characters called... There's 5 villains and 1 person called Zosia or something. But they are basically... This story picks up when they're, like, 60 years old. And they have already... She led them all on this massive rebellion where they did horrible things to win this crown. Take over a kingdom. And then she quickly discovered that she, in fact, did not want to rule a kingdom because it's shit hard. Right?
Yeah.
And so you pick up with her living just this normal life after faking her own death. And then sort of someone rediscovers her and does some bad things to some people she likes. And this book is literally just about her wanting to murder the queen because they had a deal that she'd be left alone.
Okay.
So she goes and gets the old group back together. And it's all about them just... Like, the book opens with her burning someone to death on her porch.
Right. That seems like quite an extreme reaction.
Yeah, she's not... Like, this book is not... They're not good people. One of them's, like, a huge drug addict who used to... Like, he used to be this barbarian warrior, but then got into drugs after their group fell apart.
Okay.
So he's, like, battling with addiction. There's some creepy mage that eats spirits who no one really knows what his goal is. Like, he might not be working with the group, even though he's with them.
Yeah.
Like, it's all... So it all feels like it's building into this, like... It feels like there's going to be a lot of backstabbing, and maybe the people that are meant to be friends are not really friends. This book was a good setup to that story, so I'm hoping that it continues like that.
So this is like part of a series?
Yeah, I think there's maybe 3 or 4 books.
Okay.
And I've read the first one.
And it was... So like, I don't really understand...
What don't you understand, Liam?
What it's like about. Like, your description of what it's about doesn't quite make sense to me. Like, what is the actual... Like, because you told me, like, what happened before the book kind of starts, but then...
Yeah.
What is the actual, like, book about?
It's her getting her group of villains back together.
But why?
To get revenge on the queen.
But why?
She made a deal that she would get to live a normal life if she gave up the crown.
Yeah.
In, like, this big, elaborate, pretend death way.
Yeah. And
then the queen does something that sort of breaks that deal and ends with some pretty horrible stuff happening to people that the main character likes a lot.
Okay.
So then she, like, goes to get revenge. It's a revenge book, Liam.
Okay, so would you say, like, people who are fans of, like, grimdark would like this, or is it a bit too tame for them?
No, it's still got some scenes of, you know, pretty brutal stuff. It's not as brutal as other grimdark books.
Would you say it's a good way, for someone who's never read grimdark and thinks it might be too extreme, is this a good way of, like, dipping their toes in the water and testing?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. What sort of, like, age is the audience of this book, would you say?
I've got a shit all idea, mate.
Okay. Well, is there a lot of like sex and violence and stuff?
There's some sex, there's some violence.
Like, if we had, say, some teenage listeners...
Yeah, they should go read it. But when I was a teenager, I didn't get to watch, like, adult films, but I read a lot of adult books.
Okay.
So for me, books just fucking do whatever you want.
Yeah, like, I remember when I was, like, 13 or whatever, like, my favourite author at the time was probably R.L. Stine. We'll talk more about him later. And he had this, like, adult horror book out that I saw in the library, and I really wanted to read it, and my mum got it out and read it first to see if it was suitable for me, and she said it wasn't.
When I was about 13... I read a book called Orcs, which had a evil witch using a unicorn horn as a dildo in it.
Did you understand that?
Yeah.
We had different 13-year-olds, like, lives.
Like I said, I read a lot of adult books, not like specifically porn ones. That one was quite a shock when it got to the unicorn horn dildoing scene. But...
I can imagine, yes. And she used that in her vagina?
Yeah, apparently so. If I remember rightly, it was cold, was the description.
Okay.
I need to read that series again.
Yeah. So, out of 5?
4.
Cool.
The more interesting stuff, Liam, that I'm sure you can... You've already done a review for one of these things, so I'll make it quick.
Okay.
I went and saw Alien Covenant.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember... I know you didn't give it a particularly high rating. It was very much Prometheus, I believe, was your review.
Yeah, I gave it like 3 out of 5. I think I was more like saying about how the marketing for it kind of leads you down one road.
Yeah.
The film is actually very different.
Yep, I can see that.
Yeah, I think I might have given it 3 out of 5 that I can't remember. I'm just checking now.
Yeah, no, that's...
Hang on. When did I see it? Wait. Yeah, 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah,
what are your thoughts on it?
I enjoyed it, but I'm completely aware that the reason I enjoyed it was because it gave me more alien lore.
Yeah, which I think one of the points I made in the last review was that I find the aliens scarier the less I know about them.
Yeah, 100%. This film isn't scary. It's got some not scary scenes, but like good... I don't know. I don't like jump scares particularly, so they're not jump scares. But there's a couple of scenes that I was like... I don't know how to describe it. Not scared, but like, you know, when...
gross?
Yeah, I guess. It's like, you know, there's that bit where the sort of... I found them quite creepy, but not scary. Like, there's a certain scenes where they move very humanly.
Yeah, unsettling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the white aliens, when they're sort of walking on 2 legs, there's a specific scene where one is standing up in a very human way.
Yeah.
And it looked very... And you can't see their mouths and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So it's creepy. I thought the monsters were cool as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also agree with you. Like, it felt like the sequel to Prometheus to me.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited that they might do more, but I'm also not 100% sure I like where they're going with it.
Okay. Like, I think as well, I was saying like Fassbender was just the highlight.
Oh, 100% he is, yeah.
Yeah.
I quite liked the main character woman lady, though.
Catherine Waterstone, I think, is the lady that played her.
Yeah, I thought she was quite good in it.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that was it. You've already talked about it, so I don't want to particularly...
Yeah, what would you give it out of 5?
Oh, yeah. 3.5?
Okay, so like a 0.5 higher than I thought.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And which is interesting, considering how like crazy you go for space shit.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So like for it to only be like 0.5...
You're right, 5.5.
Well, anything else?
Yes, Liam, there's one final thing.
Okay.
I have started watching the series Black Sails.
Oh, which I believe Dan Palmer recommended to you.
Yes, he suggested it and said he thought I'd like it. I think he suggested it to you as well, didn't he?
Yeah, but honestly, I've got so much TV to be getting through.
You're just such a busy boy.
Well, I've got a Netflix show that I'm currently watching. I'm 2 episodes away from finishing. And when I finish it, I'll do a review of that like in the next episode.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I finished the first season in a day of Black Sails.
Like I saw on Twitter, I think yesterday or something as well, people saying how good it is.
Yeah, I think the new series has just come out, maybe.
Okay.
Like, I think it's on series 4. I'm not 100% on that, though. But I've just started watching season 2, but it's genuinely, Liam.
Alright, so if you were to do a review of season 1...
It's a little bit like Game of Thrones, but with pirates.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, sex, a lot of violence.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of sort of politicking. How do you pronounce that? Politicking? Politicking.
Politics.
There's a lot of politics on the pirate islands.
Yeah.
And it's cool having like they have a lot of real pirates that you're like, oh, I recognise that name. And then you look it up and you're like, oh, that was an actual pirate from the time. And then they also have Long John Silver and Captain Flint, who are both from Treasure Island and are not real pirates. So that's a little bit weird.
Okay. So it's like as many pirates as they can think of, kind of.
Yeah, it's literally like they went, oh, let's just put all the pirates in it, and then ran out of pirates and went, ah.
What about the pirate from Peter Pan? Hook.
Captain Hook.
Yeah, is he in it?
He's not in season 1.
Oh, that's a shame.
But I sort of hope he turns up.
It would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. But no, seriously, it's worth watching him. I think you would enjoy it.
Okay, yeah, I'm aware of it. It's just, there's too many other shows I need to watch first.
Yeah, that's fair enough. If you like pirates, if you like Game of Thrones, go watch this show. I give it the first season 4 out of 5.
That's pretty good.
Yep. And that's it. That's all I've done, Liam. Housekeeping.
We've had no emails.
Yay.
We've had a couple of tweets. Amanda tweeted us saying, the episodes after your weekends together are always great. Can't wait to hear about the hijinks. So
I feel like this one's going to be a disappointment.
I hope she enjoyed hearing about those hijinks. We had some tweets about the games we played. So, Ladies Love Comics tweeted us about Small World, saying, love this game.
I agree.
IABD Presents, which is It's All Been Done Before.
Yep.
Or It's All Been Done, sorry, presents. We play this often. I hope you enjoy it. One of our faves. And again, that was about Small World. Dan Palmer tweeted us about the Walking Dead game we played, asking if it was any good.
It is.
Good. And then the It Be Like That podcast, again about Small World, said so many arguments have spawned over this fun little game.
Did we? I don't think we really argued.
Not massively, no. You were just a bit upset.
There was the I wasn't even upset.
Kat tweeted your tweet about you coming second and me losing, and she kind of said, when you don't understand the rules and you still conquer, and then did some like emojis.
Yep.
Dan was asking more questions about the Walking Dead game, saying, what do you even do? Don't roll a 1, otherwise you get eaten by the zombies. Kind
of.
Basically, yeah.
I feel like this is why people don't email us, Liam.
What do you mean?
Well, so far, I think most of my responses have been yes, and you haven't responded to any.
Yeah. We tweeted about... We started playing the Friday the 13th, the game. It came out on PlayStation and stuff. Yeah. Someone tweeted us saying, I was going to buy it, but a game reviewer, a friend of mine, suggested waiting a week for server issues to be dealt with. Took his advice. There's still server issues, to be honest. So waiting a week wouldn't have helped. Yeah, I was playing it yesterday, and it's an okay game. It's just...
Waiting 10 minutes to get in it
is not good.
And then the fact that you can be killed very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You did alright as Jason. You just didn't see any of the people running past you.
Yeah, exactly.
Night blindness.
Yeah. Corey tweeted us.
Yep.
So, obviously, you posted the episode, which was titled Liam is Showering Less. And Corey tweeted saying, oh, Liam, I fear for your safety, your sanity, and the odour as you're coming into the warmer months there, right? And this was when it was really hot here. So he said, really? You think 25 degrees is hot, though? It got to 15 here yesterday. Pretty chilly, though. Down to 5 tonight. And I just said that we're not used to the heat here. And he said, you're welcome to an Australian summer. Hope you like temperatures up to 42 degrees.
That sounds absolutely horrible.
Yes, not a fan. Amanda also tweeted saying that me trying to explain to you who Daniel Day-Lewis is too much. And she said, Jack, watch Lincoln.
Oh, yeah, I should probably watch that.
Yep. We had a discussion, I believe, about like doing voices and stuff when you're driving and that to amuse yourself.
Oh yeah, and some insane people responded, didn't they?
Gibbo responded, saying,
"That's right.
I do heaps of voices all the time, and mostly while driving because my wife hates them."
But okay. Now I would like to just clarify here. I want to know, Gibbo. Liam does them by himself. You said you do them because it annoys your wife. That sounds to me like you're doing it in the car with your wife there to annoy your wife. Liam does them alone. I want to just clarify, Gibbo. Do you do the voices alone?
Sometimes I do it to annoy Kat as well.
Yeah, no, but you do it. I imagine. I know you.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like 90% you alone.
Oh, yeah. Or in the shower, or, yeah, whatever.
Probably 95, let's be real.
Jason from the Atlantic Screen Connection. Is it Connection?
Yeah, I think Connection.
Podcast tweeted saying... you fucker, stop bashing on Daniel Day-Lewis. And yeah, that was basically it for the housekeeping. Oh well, we had Amanda ask us. Liam? We had Amanda ask us if we were going to do a Wonder Woman special.
We are.
She said, I'd love to hear your full-on spoiler-filled takes.
You will?
Yeah, that's about it, isn't it?
There's one more thing, Liam.
Yeah?
Listeners, about 4 episodes ago, I promised that I would be better at doing this, and have promptly forgotten every single week. Liam.
Yeah.
The DVD count at the last taking was 1,085 films that you had to watch.
Yeah, which was about, what, four episodes ago? So
Probably
about
four episodes
eight weeks ago?
2 months.
And you know how many films I watch, right?
You watch a lot, so I'm expecting this number. Whoa, I'm honestly, I'm expecting 750.
I mean, I don't watch that many. Like, I try to watch one a day, but we don't count cinema trips.
All right, so realistically, let's say you did one a day, and let's say you were being sensible and not buying more DVDs, so that'd be, 60 over 2 months? So 1025, I'm going to guess.
What was the number?
You had 1,085.
Okay, so, culture swap.
No. Has the number gone up, Liam?
It's 1,086.
I like that we've left it 2 months and the number has gone up by 1.
Yeah.
So you've watched films and bought too many.
I did a 5 for 30 yesterday, and then a trilogy I ordered arrived. All right.
That's Liam.
Yeah.
This number, it has to go down.
Yeah, I'm trying, Jack. If you'd have asked me like a week ago, we'd have been in the 1070s.
Yeah, and then this would have been even worse when you got up to 1,086.
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing. It doesn't actually matter when we do this, because this number should just keep going down, but it isn't.
It's interesting that it hasn't gone up a lot.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, but after 2 months, it shouldn't have gone up at all.
Yes. I've also done more housekeeping stuff. I read Volume 2 of Saga.
Oh yeah, what did you think?
It's just more of the same, to be honest.
Is that good or bad?
Indifferent.
Okay, you're still indifferent. Probably.
Yeah, I haven't been I need to get Volume 3. I really don't know if I'm going to bother. Unless someone's listening and they're I get what you mean about Volume 1 and 2. Volume 3 changes everything and you should definitely read it. I don't think I'm going to bother.
Okay, can someone just tweet Liam that anyway?
Well, no, because it could be a fucking waste of money and annoying if it isn't any different.
Yeah.
Nah. You done any other housekeeping stuff?
No, like I said, I've been quite busy.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck you.
Culture swap.
Swap my culture.
What do we do, Jack?
Liam, this time we watched... Earlier on you said the first 6 episodes. Is it 6?
Yep.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, so we get The Haunted Mask, which on the DVD is listed as 1, but it also says part 1 and 2.
See, on the thing I watched, it was just a total... It was all rolled together.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It kind of... So there's another 2-parter, which we also watched, Welcome to Camp Nightmare, which was listed separately. I think... Right, here's what I think. The Haunted Mask was the pilot.
Yeah. And they might have released it as a 40 minutes, but then split it later on.
Because it's also the only one that had R.L. Stein do a little intro.
Yes, it did, yeah. Anyway, sorry, yeah. So we watched the first 6 episodes of Goosebumps, the TV show.
Yeah. So should we just do them episode by episode?
Let's do it.
Because normally we wouldn't do this, but because each one is a completely different story...
Yes.
That makes more sense, right?
Yep, it does. There's no continuity. Gee, I'm really struggling with words today, Liam.
Yeah.
There's no continuity between the 6 episodes.
Exactly. They're just all based on different Goosebump books.
Yes.
So, we had The Haunted Mask Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah.
Which was all about Carly Beth.
Yep, it was. Carly Beth, the cowardly girl who was quite reasonable.
Yeah, everyone was quite mean to her.
Yeah.
And they picked on her, and I remember really liking this book because I
don't remember the books that well.
Oh, I read them all. This was a good one. I think my favourite one was Welcome to Horrorland.
I do remember that one.
It was brilliant, but this was my this was another good one.
Did you feel a little bit like a Carly Beth, Liam?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
But the basic premise of this episode, if anyone hasn't watched, we will do spoilers, so don't worry about it.
I imagine someone being upset that we're spoiling Goosebumps Season 1, Episode 1.
Yeah, first aired in 1996.
I was going to get round to it.
Yeah, so, Carly Beth, who's... People play pranks on her all the time. It's Halloween. Yep. She's going to get her own back. She's going to have the scariest costume, isn't she?
She is.
And her mum's made her a costume.
She's only made her a bloody duck, Liam.
Oh, that's not scary, is it, Jack?
Not at all, unless you're scared of ducks.
What is a girl to do?
Apparently, Liam, a girl is going to go to the Haunted Mask shop.
Obviously, which just popped up out of nowhere.
Yep.
Creepy little
As they always do.
Creepy guy who's the owner.
Yep.
Something weird with his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some masks there.
There's quite a lot. There's quite a big selection of masks in the front of the shop.
Oh, yeah, but one of them's really creepy.
Yeah, there's one in the back.
And
she's not meant to go to the back, Liam.
No, but she does.
She does.
I mean, it's a bit naughty, isn't it?
Can I point...
Go on,
Sorry,
point out.
I was going to say, at this exact moment in the episode, I believe they started doing special effects.
Yeah.
Because they make all the masks look at her when she's not looking.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot what 96 was like.
Yeah. There's another special effect where her mum makes like a model of her head and it smiles at her.
Oh yeah.
Which is also not a good... Anyway, she's stolen like $30 from her mum.
Yep.
She's found the mask that she wants. She takes it and she throws the $30.
Yeah. The guy says, you can't buy this. This mask isn't for sale.
Yeah.
And then she steals it. And she throws money at him, but that is still stealing.
Yes, 100%. And then basically, the mask attaches to her and won't come off.
Yeah, when she wears the mask, she can make... her voice changes without her noticing, apparently.
Yeah.
That's the only perceivable ability she gains.
Yeah. She also
just gets
a
a
lot
bit
more
mean.
like wicked.
Well, not like... But like, all she does is be's a bit spooky. Be's... Oh, fucking hell. I'm
Be's
honestly
a bit spooky.
She be's a bit spooky.
Yeah. What did you think of this episode?
Trash.
Yeah, I didn't think it was very good at all.
I mean, it's literally a girl gets bullied, then she tries to get her revenge, and the moral seems to be, don't try and get your revenge, because you'll die.
Yeah.
Nearly.
There was also a small twist at the end of this one.
Yeah.
Where the little brother puts on the mask at the end after she tells him not to.
Yeah, did we say the mask fused to her head and she couldn't get it off? She tries to cut it off with a knife at one point.
Yeah, she can't. In the end, it's basically a token of love is what it takes to get it off. And luckily for her, her mum made that mould of her head, didn't she, that we mentioned earlier? So,
can I point out?
Yeah, go on.
The head that was moulded.
Yeah.
That smiles at her at the beginning.
Yeah.
And they very specifically show us it smiling, so we know that is haunted. Why was that one haunted?
I don't know.
Because it never comes up.
No, it doesn't. It was ridiculous. It was
weird.
It's so bad. It was not good at all. There was one cool scene where she eats a worm. Well, a worm's put in her sandwich.
Yep.
And I have a bit of fun trivia about that.
Go on.
This isn't the best bit of trivia I've got, but in this
isn't
one,
or is?
Isn't.
Oh.
Yeah, so according to R.L. Stein's autobiography, the crew were going to use a rubber worm in the scene where Carly Beth bites into the sandwich and finds a half-chewed worm, but Catherine Long, who played Carly Beth, insisted on eating a real worm to make it realistic.
Why?
Make it realistic. I literally just said that.
Yeah, but, like, why?
Don't know.
Weird.
Can I give you my favourite bit of trivia?
Yeah, go on.
So I'm just going to read this as it is on IMDb, okay?
Okay.
Like, I watched this episode, hated it, read the trivia, laughed out loud at this.
Okay.
Carly Beth and Sabrina were played by Catherine Long and Catherine Short. It's ironic because they both have the exact first name and also last names that are opposite of each other. One is long and the other is short. It's almost as if they two are characters by R.L. Stein because of how unlikely their names are.
Why was that trivia so long?
It was my favourite. I loved it.
That's ridiculous.
That was the highlight of the episode. I want to play a little game with you as we do these episodes, though.
Alright.
I watched this and I pitched this idea to Kat. I was like, how cool would it be for someone to go through the Goosebumps books and do, like, adult versions of them?
Yeah.
Because there's definitely some, like, sinister things you can get at here.
Oh, 100%.
And here's the idea I had for the Haunted Mask. Now, I think you could have a better idea. I'm going to pitch my one to you at first.
Okay.
Yeah, the same sort of premise, right? The mum has done her the duck costume. She goes out in the Haunted Mask. And there's a very key point where the mum wants to look at her in her costume before she goes, and she doesn't get to, because obviously the mum is expecting duck, but instead she's got, like, weird green face thing. In the adult version, something would happen, like maybe she'd get hit by a car or whatever, Carly Beth would die, and the mum would be looking for her, but the mum would be looking for the duck costume, and would, like, not realise.
Oh, that's quite good.
Kat said that was shit.
Well,
I thought it was quite good as well.
It's a good twist. I don't know if the rest of the episode didn't change, it would be quite shocking.
Well, no, you make it a bit more adult in themes and stuff. But like that was my kind of thought with that. What would you do to make it more adult friendly?
I'd just have adult friendly.
Yep.
I'd have the scene where she's trying to get it off. Her friend gets the knife, cuts into the mask, and blood starts pouring out, and Carly Beth's like all screaming and stuff.
Like dark green blood or something, or
no,
blood.
actual human blood.
Oh, okay.
And then the friend's like, "Oh God, it's fused to your skin." Oh, and then she would never get out of the mask.
Okay, interesting. The next episode The Cuckoo Clock of Doom.
Woo-hoo, this one.
Oh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, this one. I'm going to do the plot synopsis for this real quickly.
Yep, shoot through it.
As a kid, he's at his 12th birthday party. His little sister's a bitch. His dad buys a new cuckoo clock. Not for the kid, just because he wants one. The kid tries to get his little sister in trouble. When the cuckoo pops out of the clock, he twists the head around.
Yep.
That makes time go backwards.
Yep.
And then at the end, he's like 1 year old, apparently. I think they reference the fact that he's one. That he has like inner dialogue that you hear. Now, I don't really know babies that well. I don't hang out with them or nothing. But this 1 year old was climbing and shit. Can babies climb at 1?
Maybe not at 1, but then he's a however old kid, 13.
Yeah.
Being put, or 12. I think he was 12.
12.
But being put back into a baby's body. Like, I feel like if I was put in a baby's body, I could probably figure out how to get it to do some things.
Possibly. What do you think of this one?
Also trash.
I liked the little sister, like Tara. She proper did come across as a bitch.
One of the things I sort of remember about Goosebumps from when I used to watch it was I always felt like you could tell there was a moral, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if they all have really bad morals to them, and just as a kid, you're just like, I'm aware there's a moral, but I'm not 100% sure what it is, so I'll probably ignore it.
Possibly.
Because the moral for this one was like, oh, don't mess with. Don't try and get revenge on your sister, or
were you about to say the moral was don't mess with time? I
was, and then I was like, well, probably not that,
is it?
But because it's sort of like, it feels like the lesson should be, your sister's being mean, but actually you can get along if you do this.
Yeah.
And then at the end they're like, the sister has been lost to time.
Yeah, and he's like, I could probably figure out how to go back and get her,
but I won't.
One day.
Yeah. So great, fantastic.
Yeah. Honestly,
he killed his little sister.
Yeah, I don't know the moral of this one. This one I really struggled with how you'd make it more adult.
Just all the spooky. There's a particularly spooky scene, Liam, where he has a nightmare that he's running down a corridor and the clock chases him.
Obviously.
Is there something we can do with that?
I think there's more something we could do with time, time. There's got to be some sort of kind of spooky time thing we could do, but I don't really know what it is.
No, maybe
this is the one I really struggled.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he just gets stuck as a baby.
What if you told it from the parents' perspective? Got it. You tell it from the parents' perspective, and they're totally aware that their kids are going aging backwards, but do not know why.
Oh, that would be quite good.
But and it is it's still the kid who's turned the head, and that's what's done it. But
it's sort of like Benjamin Button if told by Goosebumps.
Yeah, from a parent's perspective.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with my kid?"
Yeah, fair enough.
Now the next one, this one. I've figured out how you make this adult perfectly, but we'll go through the episode first.
Okay.
The Girl Who Cried Monster. I actually quite enjoyed this one.
It was one of the better ones.
I mean, we've got one more to do after this one.
And that one's the best one.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, anyway, so The Girl Who Cried Monster is probably my favourite. Lucy, who basically likes making up stories about monsters and tormenting her little brother. Yeah. A lot of sibling torment going on here. I wonder if R.L. Stein has any siblings that he doesn't like. So she's a bit of a bookworm because again, this was before the internet.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's true.
So I was a bookworm before the internet.
She's in a group called they got a name.
The Reading Rangers.
That's it.
Also, she's got a little friend, and I had to rewind it at first because I thought they dubbed his voice because his voice was way too high.
Well, they're young kids.
I know, but it just threw me. Anyway, yeah, she makes up all these stories about monsters. She didn't like Black Beauty. That was the first book we see her read. Then she reads Frankenstein because she fucking loves monsters. She leaves her blades at the library. She has to go back and get them, and she finds out the librarian is actually a monster that eats bugs and spiders and shit.
He's only a bloody monster.
He's a fucking... Oh dear. And then there's a twist. Oh, is there a twist, Jack?
It's such a good twist.
Turns out they're a family of monsters. And they
invite him over for dinner.
Yep. And
then they say...
He asks what's for dinner.
And they say...
Well, since you asked... You. And it turns out that because they're monsters, they've lived there for so long with no one else knowing that they were monsters. And they can't have another monster around. It might give the game away.
Exactly.
Now, I think this was one of the first Goosebumps books I ever read.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had a trilogy of them. And I'm sure this was the first one in it. And I fell in love with it. I think I was 7 or 8 at the time.
Were you hoping that you'd find out your mum was a monster?
No, I just loved it so much. Like before, then I read like a lot of like the Famous Five and Enid Blyton and that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
And this was just it's a whole new world. I honestly didn't know what like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches were though.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was like, you know,
actual jelly.
Yeah, not jam.
Yeah.
Until probably like only in the last like 5 years I figured that out.
Oh, well, that's far too late in your life.
It's not something I've really thought about once I stopped reading Goosebumps though. It stops kind of becoming something you encounter in life.
I mean, I've heard peanut butter and jelly.
There's a lot of like Americanisms that I don't know if I fully understood when I was first reading these books.
Yeah.
So how you'd make this one adult, obviously, is she goes back to the library, finds out the librarian is a paedophile, but because she's so young, she doesn't really know how to like contemplate.
I'm not in on this one.
No, listen though, but she's so young, she doesn't know how to like put into words what she's just kind of experienced. So she makes it all up as this like monster thing because that's the only way she knows how to like process what's just happened to her. But her family don't believe her because she's always talking about monsters.
I think you need to just sit in a dark corner by yourself and think for a bit.
Why?
Because you've got problems.
No, this one works perfectly for that, I think.
You can't turn Goosebumps. You can't.
If you're making it
by
adult,
adding a paedophile.
For the girl who cried monster, you could.
No, you can't.
It's the only way doing it that makes sense.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, but this is like for adults.
Yeah, it's still Goosebumps.
Well, my favourite bit of all of the episodes is the opening bit, and then it goes, "Viewer beware, you're in for a scare." Like the books, because they had a read it beware, you're in for a scare on it.
Yeah, very good.
That's my favourite bit. Now we have your favourite episode.
We do.
Another two-parter.
Welcome to Camp Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, a bunch of kids get sent to summer camp. They go to the wrong one.
I think they go to the right one.
Well, no, aren't they all like confused and then they get lost or some shit?
What do you mean?
I don't know. You're better at explaining those plot lines than I am, Liam.
But they go to Camp Night Moon.
Yeah.
And they just get like dropped off in the middle of nowhere. But it's the right camp and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just a bit of a shambles. Much like this podcast.
They have to do all these fun camp activities, but people keep getting severely wounded by like snakes and shit, and then disappear.
Yeah. There's a snake bite. Two kids drown. One apparently gets like savagely mauled, but you don't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all like the camp staff don't seem to care when you tell them that bad stuff's happening.
Yeah.
And then eventually the main kid
there's
tries
a twist.
to escape.
Yeah, there's a twist, isn't there?
There is, honestly, this is why I love this one so much.
Go on in.
So he escapes from camp, he comes back, he's told he has to hunt down an escapee.
Yeah. Which
picks
is
up the crossbow.
Girl that he likes.
Yeah, he's met her and he's like, we'll escape together. And she's like, well, sure.
Yeah.
He gets a crossbow, refuses to go hunt the girl, and shoots the camp counselor man in the chest.
Yeah.
And you think you're all ready for it to be bad, but wait a minute. It was a government training program all along. And actually...
That's not the only twist.
No, Liam, don't ruin it. Jesus. God. It was a government training program.
Yeah.
His parents are going on a secret mission.
Yeah.
And he's going to go with them. So they had to check that he'd do the right thing in situations.
Yeah.
And it was all pretend.
Yeah,
and
everyone
then
was acting.
Slow pan up to the sky.
Yeah.
Where the Earth is. And his parents say, we've heard that people on that planet can be quite bad. I don't know. It was very confusing. Turns out he's going to Earth.
Yeah.
They're all aliens.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best... At that point, I was like, sure, why not?
See, I thought you liked this one because you could relate to it the most, because you do it.
No, fuck no. No, not like that, though.
Okay, then.
Not like American summer camp.
Yeah, I just thought this one was ridiculous.
It is. Oh, no, it's fully... It is interesting, though, right?
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
That in all the other ones...
Yeah.
There's no, like, obvious deaths or anything.
Yeah.
In this one, 2 kids drown. And I know that they later reveal that actually, no, they didn't.
Mm.
But, like, how did this show get made for kids and released on, like, TV? Because for a whole part of this episode, because it's 2 parts,
Yeah.
2 kids drown.
Yeah, but they don't really, so it's fine.
Yeah, but that's in the second episode, effectively.
Yeah. I kind of wish we'd done Are You Afraid of the Dark instead.
Well, we'll do that at some point.
Okay, cool. It'd be interesting to compare the two.
Yeah, yeah.
So, how would you make Welcome to Camp Nightmare adult?
You just remove the twist.
Okay.
That's all you have to do, and then this becomes a weirdly adult kids' TV show.
Yeah, it'd be like a perfect slasher, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's basically another Friday the 13th.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And you have the actual monster thing that's hunting them in the woods.
Saber.
You make that real.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom.
Done.
What would you do? Paedophiles?
Well, there is something a bit dodgy about the counsellors, but I probably wouldn't go down the paedophile route. I don't think this one lends itself as easily to that as The Girl Who Cried Monster does.
Sure, right.
I think the way I would do it, here we go, it would be a bit like Battle Royale, of a way, not where they've got to kill each other, but basically it's a camp where parents send their kids to that they just don't want to, like, if the kids are bad behaved or whatever, like, the parents are just like, I'm sick of having to deal with this brat.
Got you.
So they send them to this camp, and the camp is literally just like a series of death traps.
Okay.
And, like, you know, the parents just are aware that they are essentially sending their kids to die.
Sort of like Saw meets Battle Royale.
Yes. Which, that's quite... I like that as a pitch.
Yeah. I don't think Camp Nightmare would come out of that actual pitch by itself, but...
No. But yeah, so it doesn't all have to be paedophiles, Jack. Only the ones where it makes sense.
Sure.
Has this got you wanting to watch more of the Goosebumps TV episodes?
No.
Yeah, I'll be honest, like, I bought the DVD box set a couple of years back, and me and Kat started watching it, and we got up to the Cuckoo Clock of Doom, so essentially the first 2 episodes.
2 episodes.
And we just both went, nah.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things that you watch as a kid and you're like, oh man, Goosebumps is good.
Yeah.
And then you grow up and you look at it and you go, oh, Jesus, what a heaping pile of shit.
Yeah,
And I know that there are going to be listeners out there who are going to hear us say that and be like, oh, no, it's not, you're wrong. You go and actually watch Goosebumps again, listeners, because it is not good.
Yeah, I did a tweet earlier saying, revisiting the Goosebumps TV show, which I adored as a kid, I liked some real shit as a kid.
Yeah.
Honest. It was worse than I was expecting it to be.
To be fair, I think I was ready for it to be pretty shit, because the episode that always sticks in my mind is the one where the kid turns into a dog.
Oh, what was that called?
Yeah, I've got no idea.
It was something like My Hairy Adventure or something.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
And that episode, even as a kid, I was like, this isn't scary or anything. This is just stupid.
Yeah.
So I think because that one's always fresh in my mind, I'm ready for Goosebumps to be a bit crap. But yeah, it was probably worse than I was expecting.
Yeah. I thought it would be quite fun, and it just wasn't.
No.
Yeah, like the next one is Phantom of the Auditorium, Piano Lessons Can Be Murder, Return of the Mummy. For some reason, I don't know if IMDb is listing this necessarily right, because Season 1 has Return of the Mummy, which I'm assuming is a sequel, and also Night of the Living Dummy 2.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
No.
Because there was definitely... I remember Night of the Living Dummy being quite spooky.
Yeah, it was slappy.
Yeah.
My Hairiest Adventure was the one where he turns into a dog.
There you go.
Do you remember Stay Out of the Basement?
Vaguely, it rings a bell.
I remember that I loved the twist of that one as a kid when I read it, where basically this girl, I think it's a girl, her dad is turning into a plant.
Oh, yeah.
And it ends with her like seeing his face in a flower, essentially, asking for help. Because so I think the dad's doing this experiment and there's like a plant version of him that's trying to take over his life.
Yeah.
And yeah, that had a good twist to it when I was a kid. I imagine now it probably wouldn't be so good.
No.
I remember I had A Night in Terror Tower on VHS, and I watched that a lot.
Yeah, I remember that being a big one that people liked.
Yeah, it goes back to the Middle Ages.
Yep, say cheese and die.
Yeah. I wonder now, like, if I was to go back and read the books, how shit I would find them.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if the books had fared as badly as the TV series.
Yeah, because
the show definitely isn't helped by the CGI.
No, it isn't. But there's a lot of things that don't help the show. Like the kids, none of them can really act.
No, that's true.
None of the adults can really act either, in fairness.
Yep, no, also true.
Yeah, I thought we'd have a lot more fun with this.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be as shit an experience as it was.
Yeah. What would you give it out of 5?
1.5?
I'm going to agree with that.
Yeah. It's not good.
It really isn't. It makes me wish I could go back to being of an age where I thought this sort of thing was good.
Yeah.
I wonder what has changed.
Yeah, I don't know.
The other thing that is like a bit of a shame as far as I'm aware, like kids don't really have like Goosebumps or like Point Horror, like an equivalent of that these days.
Yeah, not that I know of.
No, and like even TV shows, like you had Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark? I don't think there's really any kids shows that are doing this sort of thing either anymore.
No, and I wonder if it is that it was a thing people tried to do because they were like, well, people love these Goosebumps books. I mean, I wonder because now that we're looking at them and hating them,
yeah,
right? Maybe everyone that worked on this series, these 4 series or however many it is total.
Yeah, it's 4 seasons of this.
Maybe they were all just like, well, this is complete shit, but kids are fucking loving it.
Yeah, possibly.
And now all those kids have grown up, and the ones that were like, I want to start a cool TV series, then went back and were like, oh, I'll just rewatch Goosebumps to get my juices flowing. Then sort of watched Goosebumps and went, oh god, no, I can't inflict this on the world.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Is that, are we done with Goosebumps?
I think we are. I honestly, I think I want to be.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah. And obviously after this like shockingly awful experience, we're shooting high for the next one, right?
Yep. What are we doing, Liam?
On the next episode of Nerd on Nerd, we will be discussing, as recommended by regular listener Amanda, we're doing a graphic novel called Black Hole. Now, I've just had a little looky-loo on Amazon about this one, right?
Uh-huh.
And check this bullshit out, Jack. I can get it in paperback format, £23.16.
That's quite expensive.
Hardcover, which I hate reading. I had to read Nameless in hardcover. It was, I had to get it out of my house. I hated it that much. £16.59.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about?
Odd. That's what that is. That's odd.
That is weird.
So yeah, we're doing Black Hole. I know nothing about it. I think it's about like STDs.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah. Which is a topic I'm not very familiar with.
Nope.
I imagine you're a bit more of an expert than I am.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Riddled.
Yeah, if it was like friction burns, I could relate. But this, I'm going to struggle.
Well, I don't think you have to relate. I don't think you have to have had an STD to read a graphic novel about STDs.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, that's true. When our reviews next week could be... No, it turns out you did need to.
Yeah, when Amanda did recommend this to us, she did say that she hated it.
Yeah.
But she would be interested to hear our critical take on it. And she said that she thinks it just wasn't for her. Yeah,
did we get the impression she thought it was for us?
Yep. That's what I'm reading from that tweet.
Okay.
She's going, it's not for me. It's a bit juvenile. But you two probably love it.
Right up your street.
Yeah. So thanks for recommending that, Amanda. If other people were listening and they were like, I've got the perfect thing for them to do, how do they let us know?
If you want to get in contact with us, you can tweet us at nerdonnerd. You could email us at nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com. You can go on our Facebook at facebook.com/nerdonnerdpod, all one word, and leave a little message there. Where else can they message us, Liam?
YouTube. You can leave a comment on a YouTube video. If you just look up Nerd on Nerd, all one word, that'll take you to us.
Sweet.
And then if you subscribe, you'll never miss a Nerd on Nerd video again.
That's true.
You could leave a review, a rating on iTunes.
Yep, we'll accept anything above 5 stars.
That would help us.
If you want to give us less than that, you can. But we'll be sad.
If you're a fan of the show, that just helps us basically. I don't really know how it works.
I like that you tried though.
Like other podcasts say it helps them, so I don't see why it
we've
wouldn't help
heard from
us
other
as well.
podcasts that getting good reviews is good.
So we want some.
Please.
Why should they have all the good reviews?
Yeah, it's not fair that you guys keep giving all these other podcasts good reviews and you refuse to let us have any.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Liam?
I think me and you should read Goosebump books and then write adult versions of them together.
Bye.
Bye.